how's it going, folks? Welcome back to TUTV. My name's Jack.
I'm Lily.
As always. Today, we were just discussing before our show that this year's Sody Pops have now switched brands.
Yes, so on campus we used to have Coke products, but now if you look around, y'all, we have Pepsi.
So obviously this is a huge deal, very big deal, and it caused a bit of an argument, bit of a debate, probably more civilized.
Yes.
So we went ahead and tallied up the results to get a good old-fashioned democratic answer as to which product was better. So, go ahead and present.
Get ready, y'all. As you can tell, we have Coke and Pepsi and Dr. Pepper, because even though we switched products, we still have Dr. Pepper because they both have partnerships with it.
It's like a Venn diagram that crosses over. Dr. Pepper's in the middle.
Exactly. So if you look, Coke has 9, Pepsi has 3, and most importantly, Dr. Pepper has 10.
Bing, 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 bing. That's your winner, folks.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm very happy about that because I also voted for Dr. Pepper as a fellow Texan.
I'm just addicted to Dr. Pepper, so that's my problem right now.
Yep, it can do that to you.
Yeah.
It's great, and it comes from one of the best states in the world. So,
yeah.
Folks, shout out to Dr. Pepper, one of our unofficial sponsors, and you guys have a good show today, all right?
See you later.
See ya.
Hello, welcome to TUTV News, your source for as much news as you can handle. I'm Zachary Darland.
And I'm Will. We've got some interesting stories for you this week.
Airplane company Boeing and car company Porsche announced that they have started a partnership to develop flying vehicles. According to Porsche executive Detlev von Platen, quote, Porsche is looking to expand its scope as a sports car manufacturer by becoming a leading brand for premium air mobility, end quote. Boeing subsidiary Aurora Flight Sciences and Porsche are investigating ways to design a fully electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. According to a study by Porsche Consulting, the urban air mobility market will begin to expand after 2025.
Last Wednesday, President Trump defended his decision to withdraw U.S. troops from conflict in war-torn Syria. The decision has sparked controversy as many view it as abandoning the Syrian Democratic Forces, or SDF, a Kurdish-led military force. The withdrawal of troops comes as a response to an assault launched by U.S. ally Turkey to fight the Kurds and bring peace to the region. According to Trump, the Kurds, quote, did not help us during the Second World War, end quote. While the decision works to remove American interference in the Syrian civil war, tensions are still high between the SDF and the U.S.
On Friday, a giant step was taken for the Hong Kong protests in the form of a 13-foot statue, which was erected atop a nearby Lion Peak. The statue has been dubbed Hong Kong's Lady Liberty and depicts a woman wearing a helmet and gas mask, symbolizing resilience. According to its creator, it was inspired by the Goddess of Democracy statue, which was briefly erected before its destruction by the government in the 1898 Tiananmen Square protests in Beijing. The statue was designed by online voters and serves as a symbol of the ongoing fight for democracy in Hong Kong.
On Sunday, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed into law a prohibition of lunch shaming. According to the bill, lunch shaming is the denial of lunch choice for students with unpaid fees. The bill was spearheaded by Senator Robert Hertzberg, who was inspired after seeing that many schools gave cheap lunches to students whose parents could not pay for their lunch, which led to ostracization from peers. According to Governor Newsom, quote, creating a California for all means ensuring schools are inclusive, accepting, and welcoming of all kids, end quote.
Tonight at 7 p.m. Central will be the 4th televised Democratic debate for the 2020 presidential race. 12 candidates qualified for the debate, which is the largest group of candidates in a single debate this year. Most notably, this debate will be the first public reemergence for Bernie Sanders since his heart procedure earlier this October. Also appearing will be Hawaii Congressman Tulsi Gabbard, who notoriously threatened to boycott the event. The debate will cover questions such as stance and plans regarding impeachment, inquiry, gun control, immigration, and economic policy. Come back next week for updates about the debates.
In the reunion of the decade, a Florida woman finally found her dog. Duchess, who escaped the house in 2007, was recently found under an abandoned shed. She was taken to the Humane Animal Rescue in Pittsburgh, Florida, where she was confirmed to belong to her owner, Catherine String. String said, Quote, I held out hope because I paid for that microchip every year, end quote. After an 18-hour drive back home, Duchess was reunited with the rest of her family.
Well, that's a wonderful series of different events we have today, isn't it?
It is.
Which one was your favorite?
I really like the dog being reunited with his owner.
Yeah. It's a very hopeful story. Wouldn't you hate to be lost under an abandoned shed?
I would be, in fact.
Oh yeah, my personal favorite has to be the lunch shaming. Never heard it put in such terms.
Well, that's just how legal things work, I guess.
Oh yeah. Well, see you next time. I'm Zach.
And I'm Will.
Hey, how's it going, folks? Today we are here with Leslie Blanchet. She is the Director of Alumni Engagement here at the University of Tulsa. Leslie, thank you for coming out and talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so before we get started, we're going to get into hopefully some of the upcoming homecoming events because that's right around the corner here to you. But just to get it going, what is an overview, kind of a rough summary of what your position is, what the kind of things you do for University of Tulsa?
Yeah, so I work in the Office of Alumni Engagement. I work with 6 total, 5 others. And we have 12 chapters and 22 clubs throughout the United States and 1 overseas. And so as students graduate, become alumni, they're welcome to get involved with TU after graduation, stay involved, go to events. Their parents are welcome to any events in Tulsa or any of our chapters and clubs. So we support our alumni in that fashion. We also plan really fun events around homecoming, TU Uncorked, which is our fundraiser of the year, and Cane Crawl, which is a bar crawl in the spring. So that's really fun too.
Yeah. So are you yourself an alumni?
I am, yes.
Sweet.
And a little vocabulary lesson. So men are it's an alumnus. You would be an alumnus when you graduate.
Okay.
I'm an alumna as a female.
Oh, okay.
And a group is alumni.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I never thought of it. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That lesson. I'm sure that informed a lot of people watching. I had no idea.
Oh, and a group of girls is alumni.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you
See,
go.
Vocabulary is my strong suit for the people that know me, so that's going to be huge.
That's okay.
So before we get into the homecoming events, that kind of stuff, what are some of the things you're working on right now outside of homecoming?
Sure. So the new mentoring program is a really big initiative from the alumni office. So we spearheaded, along with, in accordance with the strategic plan, a mentoring program. So any student who wants an alumni mentor can have one. The platform's called UTulsa Connect. It's all online based. So alumni sign up and they say, I'll go to coffee, look at your resume, meet you to talk about interview skills. And then a student can identify what interests they have, what industry they want to work in, what major they have, and can connect with an alum. There's also faculty and staff on there, friends of TU, so some of our Board of Trustee members are on there. So it's a really fantastic digital platform that students and alumni can use to connect virtually or in person.
Sweet. So that if a student wanted to, follow through with that, can they go online or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
So you go to utulsaconnect.com, you sign in with your UTulsa address. You should be automatically entered, and then you can start entering as much information as you can enter, the better your match is going to be.
Right.
And so you can connect with one or many alumni and friends on the platform to start networking before graduation. We really encourage it while you're a student. It's not a career placement service. It's really networking and relationship building.
Right. I think that's definitely huge, especially for a campus like Tulsa's. We obviously try to pride ourselves in that small campus feel, in that connection. So I think that's perfect for us. Yeah.
And it's a really great way as students graduate to become alumni, to connect with others in their industry. It's just a great way to give back and get involved. Our office, we don't do fundraising from our office. So whenever you hear from the alumni engagement staff, we really just want you to get involved, to come to events, volunteer, and UTulsa Connect is another great way to do that and give back.
Sweet. So getting into the homecoming stuff. So Are the events already laid out? Like, what are the any upcoming events that are of note, I guess?
Yes. So Student Association plans a really great slate of events throughout the week. I think they even start on Sunday here in a few days.
Okay.
Alumni events officially start on the 24th, which is Thursday. We honor our distinguished alumni every year. So this year we've got Bob and Bill Thomas, Sanjay Meshri, and Paula Kuykendall as our distinguished alumni. And many students know Amy Dodson. She's Miss Homecoming this year. And then Andy and Helen McKay are our J. Pascal Twyman Award recipients. So Thursday night we'll honor them. Friday night we do the bonfire. So we'll honor our top 10 freshmen, outstanding seniors, those honorees I just mentioned, out on Dietler Commons in front of the library. And then we'll light the structure on fire and set off some fireworks and really just celebrate homecoming.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the fire's big. It's a big
huge.
fire. It's worth going.
Yeah. And we really have to thank the students. They build that structure that we set on fire. So Thursday night, SA comes out. I think the organizations get points. And it's a really fun time to watch everyone kind of crawl up the pallets that build the structure.
Is there any like family-oriented events? I know like Parents Weekend is coming up as well.
Absolutely. So Parents Weekend happens at the same time, and they'll have a tent before the big game. We got the game time. It's at 6 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay.
So our tent party will be from 3:30 to 5:30 on Chapman Commons, and everybody's welcome. Just because it's the alumni tent, students and parents are also welcome. We have hamburgers. We've got a cash bar. We've got giveaways. It's just a fun celebratory time. And then Parent and Family Weekend will be in Collins Hall, the check-in, so they can pick up their t-shirts, get schedules, buy more shirts. The bookstore will be in Collins Hall that weekend. So you can go buy, it's called Loyal Always True brand. There's a new vintage line coming out.
Sweet.
So that'll be in the Heritage Room in Collins Hall. So it's just a really big event, 4 or 5 days. And then I have to mention on Friday, there's a networking event for students and alumni on Hurricane Plaza, excuse me. So right outside of Hardesty. Anybody who's a mentor or a mentee on UTulsa Connect can come, and if you're not, you can come and find one.
All right.
The Career Development Office will also be there with their career coaches. So anybody just looking, to brush up on their interview skills, look at their resume, meet some alumni, 11 o'clock in Hurricane Plaza.
All right. Sweet. Well, I'm excited. I'm sure everyone watching is as well. So thank you for coming in and give us information.
Thanks for having me.
I learned a lot, and as far as vocabulary and everything else goes. So thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
No sports.
Hi, welcome back to TUTV Sports. I'm Harry Lebowski.
And I'm Wes Addington.
Here are your sports for the week.
The Tulsa men's soccer team traveled to Orlando last Saturday for a game against 9th-ranked UCF. UCF had an early lead over TU and led 2-0 at the half. However, in the second half, Anthony Partain scored 2 goals, one off a deep cross from Mitchell Cashin, and the other through a quick assist from Alejandro Chavez in the 86th minute of play. Parton's 2 goals carried the two teams into overtime, where they remained tied at 2-2. Sadly, UCF ended the game with a final shot on goal in second overtime. Tulsa fell to the 9th-ranked team 3-2, but will return home for their third conference game against Cincinnati.
The Tulsa football team returned home on Saturday to host the Navy Midshipmen. Navy had an offense ready to compete against the Golden Hurricane as the Midshipman QB Malcolm Perry rushed for 218 yards compared to Tulsa's 323 total offensive yards. At the end of the first half, Tulsa trailed 28-3, but Tulsa improved at the start of the third quarter. With some urgency, the Golden Hurricane scored off a 75-yard drive to shorten the score gap. Tulsa put up another 7 points in the fourth, but Navy answered with 17 of their own. Tulsa fell 45-17 to Navy with a 2-4 record on the season and will travel to Cincinnati for a third conference game this weekend.
The Tulsa women's cross-country team competed in the 31st annual Chili Pepper Festival in Fayetteville with a 5th place overall finish. The nation's second-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks claimed first in the race, followed by Texas, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, and Tulsa. In a 5K race of 270 runners, junior Caitlin Kopfer had a top 10 finish for Tulsa with a time of 16 minutes and 57 seconds, earning 9th place. Sophomore Caroline Miller then trailed Klopfer in 18th place with a time of 17 minutes and 52 seconds. The remaining 5 runners for Tulsa finished between 37th and 50th place, all below an 18-minute finishing time. The next race for the men's and women's team is the Nutty Comb in Madison, Wisconsin, where they will face the same teams as in the American Conference Championship race.
Things are narrowing down in postseason baseball as we come to our final four teams. In the ALCS side of the bracket, the New York Yankees are tied with the Houston Astros 1-1 in the series. The Yankees claimed a 7-0 win over Houston in Game 1, where Masahiro Tanaka became the first MLB pitcher to allow no more than 2 runs in his first 7 postseason starts, and Gleyber Torres became the first player in MLB history with 5 RBIs in a postseason game. In the NLCS, Washington currently leads 3-0 over St. Louis after an 8-1 victory over the Cardinals in Game 3. This is the first appearance in the NLCS for the Nationals, who will have a home field advantage for Games 3 and 4.
Basketball season for Tulsa is quickly approaching as the men's and women's team prepare for their AAC Media Day on October 13th and 14th in Philadelphia. Returning to the men's team are 6 letter winners, 2 starters, and 2 redshirted athletes, as well as 6 newcomers. With an 18-14 season record, the Tulsa men's finished 7th in the American Conference last year, beating their preseason predictions for the 5th year in a row. For the women's team, the ladies retained 10 letter winners and 4 starters. After a 13-18 record last year, they also placed 7th in the conference, 4 places higher than the previous season. The regular season begins for both teams on November 5th, as the men host Houston Baptist and the ladies host Stephen F. Austin.
So, about the Nationals game, back to the Nationals game.
Yeah, tell me what's going on in the MLB playoffs right now.
This is the first time that a Washington baseball team has been in the playoffs since 1925.
It's a long time, 94 years?
Something like that. Yeah, I didn't do the math, but they really squeezed out of the series after over the top-ranked Dodgers, and then now they're beating St. Louis. They're leading the series 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what happens. Well, that's all we have today.
Yep.
I'm Harry Lebowski.
I'm Wes Addington.
We'll see you next week.
Welcome back to TUTV Entertainment, your one-stop shop for all things pop culture. I'm Parker.
And I'm Benji. Let's get right into it.
The iconic children's show, Sesame Street, has debuted a new character. Carly, a green puppet with yellow pigtails, is in foster care, while her mother is in recovery for an addiction. According to a recent study by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, the number of children in the United States with a parent battling addiction reached nearly 9 million in 2014. Carly serves to represent these children and open the conversation on substance abuse. This isn't the first time Sesame Street has tackled difficult issues. The PBS show has introduced a number of characters that aim to explain what is typically viewed to adults as adult issues. Among these characters include Alex, whose father is in jail, Lily, who represents homeless families, and many more.
Actor Robert Downey Jr. moves on from his Iron Man days with a new role in the upcoming film Dolittle. Based on the classic children's books, Downey plays the eccentric Dr. Dolittle, a doctor turned veterinarian who can speak to animals. The film features a star-studded cast, including Downey's Marvel co-star Tom Holland. Dolittle is Downey's first major project following Tony Stark's departure from the MCU, so the debate has begun on whether Downey's take on the famed literary character will live up to his previous role. You can catch Dolittle in theaters beginning January 2020.
This weekend marks the 41st annual Tulsa Oktoberfest. Modeled after Oktoberfest in Bavaria, Germany, this 4-day celebration brings a piece of their culture to Tulsa. Attendees can expect authentic Bavarian food, games, arts and crafts, and live performances by German bands. Tulsa's Oktoberfest is nationally known as one of the top 5 Oktoberfests as ranked by USA Today, and was recently named one of the 5 largest Oktoberfests in the United States. Oktoberfest will take place from October 17th to October 20th at the Riverfest Festival in Tulsa. General admission is $10 for adults, and children 12 and under get in for free.
Following up on Harry Styles' mysterious tweet last week, the singer has returned to the music scene with the single Lights Up. The music video for the new song was dropped last Friday at midnight. an unexpected surprise for Styles' fan base. Coinciding with this release, Styles launched a website which generates compliments for fans. Fans can type in their name and receive an encouraging message. The website is titled the same as the song's hook, Do You Know Who You Are? The release also fell on National Coming Out Day, which has led to speculation over the song being his own way of coming out. Styles, who has formally stated that he does not wish to describe himself as heterosexual, has not yet confirmed this claim.
Korean-made film Parasite instantly sold out at theaters in New York City following its release over the weekend. The film tells the story of two families, one the image of wealth and the other less fortunate, as their lives converge. Currently, Parasite sits as the 2019's top-rated film on Metacritic, with a nearly perfect score of 95 out of 100. The film, which won the coveted Palme d'Or Award at the Cannes Film Festival, is also South Korea's entry to the Academy Awards Best International Film category. Parasite's director Bong Joon-ho is certainly no stranger to success, with a number of acclaimed films including Snowpiercer, The Host, and the Netflix original Okja.
The worldwide favorite Fortnite ended its 10th season with a literal bang. On Sunday, during an event titled The End, the game's entire map was sucked into a black hole, rendering the game unplayable. The event began the same as other end-of-season events, with rocket launches creating rifts in the sky. However, things took a catastrophic turn as a meteor hurled down, and everything was sucked into a black hole. At one point, millions tuned in to stream the black hole, waiting for the game to come back. Much to the dismay of fans, Sunday passed and nothing happened. Have no fear, though, as the game has finally opened back up with a whole new map and new weapons for players.
Well, there's probably a record high number of kids going outside this weekend with Fortnite shutting down.
They don't have anything else to do. They got to go back to the olden days playing with the stick and hoop.
Yeah.
Going down the sidewalk. What's you going to do?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like Fortnite at this point is kind of America's most famous babysitter, so kind of took the day off.
I feel bad for all the parents that had kids screaming at them, turn the Fortnite back on.
Yeah.
You know, they got nothing to do. All right, well, that's all we have for entertainment this week. We hope to see you next week.
You much of a gamer?
No, not really.
Neither. It's gross.
Well, I don't think it's gross. I just don't have time, and I never really got into it. So.
No, I'm kidding. I'm actually a huge gamer. I do it all the time.
What is your favorite games then?
It's kind of like a political statement. I don't really want to talk about it on air. So,
Okay.
Harry Styles got a new song out. I was hoping that he'd just release "Do" and never do anything else.
Why?
It'd be funny if he just posted the tweet "Do"
And then that's it?
That's it. Like
And
that'd
he
be
just, like,
hilarious.
Like he's still around, or is it like he falls off the face of the earth?
He falls off the face of the earth.
I mean,
the flat Earth. He just poop falls right off.
okay. You know.
A lot to unpack there.
There
Go ahead.
really
Yeah.
is.
What's your opinion on it?
On what?
On the Harry Styles thing.
I don't know. I haven't listened to it. I think, though,
Yeah.
that if he doesn't want to make a statement about his sexuality, he doesn't have to. He can come out whenever he wants to, or if he's not and he's just a support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But back to gaming.
Okay.
I think that that's the next step for this show. I feel like we
Is
close
gaming?
gaming channel. That's the future.
Like we have like a streaming gaming
Mhm.
channel, or
Yeah.
like we have a YouTube channel. Because isn't there two different things now?
No, I think that we should. Our whole channel now should be just gaming. That's it.
I mean, but we have very talented people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're all gamers. Like I'm not a gamer, so.
Oh, I'm not a host.
Well,
Do you think I came up here practicing this? No, I just did it. They can game. Anyone can game. They just gotta put
Okay.
their heart into it.
like what type of games do we want then?
Any kind of game.
Like, are we gonna go back to like old school Disney where they like
I think we should do Clue.
Clue, like the board game Clue?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool, having a board game segment.
Ooh, I like that. You listening, director? All right.
All right,
They're
well, that's
listening.
all we have today. This
Thanks
is
for
all.
watching, guys. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah.